from movies like Back to the Future, I've learned to reconcile all that as I still get to live in this amazing world and be self-aware, and be, I have to. It's my responsibility to treasure every moment, and take the good with the bad, because the smallest instance of good is worth, fighting through all that bad for, and it's all done as subcontext to the film. You have this zany adventure with these wacky out of this world characters, and you have all these life lessons that happen in it, and it's beautiful.
And even then, just to go on that whole thing of good, like Marty McFly is so good that it attracts the attention of Doc Brown, who's so much more a senior, just to be like, I'm gonna take you under my wing. You're gonna be my, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm gonna take you, and I'm gonna educate you.
And that's so interesting too, because he doesn't. They don't another thing that they did so well with the script is they don't spend 15 minutes introducing Marty to Doc and going through that whole sequence. The movie opens up and Marty's looking for Doc, and you're thrown into this world, and you're on this moving train, and with that you can accomplish so much. They never ever treat the audience as stupid.
No.
Everything that we just talked about subcontextually, everything that's done as kind of plot points, even though there's an extremely large amount of exposition in this film.
Oh yeah.
They never pander to you as an audience. They never stop the film and go, okay, now here's what's going on, and pat you on the head and rub your belly and reaffirm that this is going to be okay.
Yeah, there's no...
They just deliver.
Yeah.
Well, I think of it this way, there's no, when we get classical, there's no, what's the term, like a Shakespearean, chorus. There's no, little interlude being so here's where we are now.
Yes.
And I like that, that it comes in medias res, the relationships are established. And I mean, what you're saying about Marty just being a good person, wanting to live, and, adapting that to your own life, and just that whole aspect of it, it took me back to the get out of jail party that never actually happened. And Marty's just so heartbroken. He gets it. He's the epitome of the 80s loser cool guy. Yeah. Where he's like, man, I understand that high school's bullshit and my family's fucked up and I just want everybody to be happy. Yeah. And he's just frustrated, and he's just running his fingers through his hair, just exasperated, I don't know.
And his band plays just way too loud.
And then the relationship with Doc Brown, taking him under his wing and that kind of thing, you don't really get that right away, because he's just kind of breaking into his garage and plugging in the amp and just making a fucking mess. So it's here's a shitty teenager, but he's got that heart of gold, and you're how is this going to come together?
Absolutely.
It's that weird dichotomy at the beginning of just this is a messed up kid who's just trying to find his place. So maybe going back in time and helping his family and his lineage and all that kind of thing is him just sort of, one, learning to value what he has and find his place in the world, in society, in existence, whatever. But at the same time, it's him understanding the concept of fate. It's almost a Donnie Darko kind of thing, where it's once you understand your fate, would you change it? Or are you willing to accept it and go with it and sort of recognize opportunities as they come, instead of trying, beating your head against the wall over and over, trying to do better and change things instead of accepting the way they are and being what can I do with this?
Yeah. And it's so interesting that you bring up the comparison of Donnie Darko, because it's two films that are very much tackling similar subject matter, but one is done in this very bright and exciting way that's everything's delivered to you as a subcontext of the film, and then you have this other film that's very dark and I don't want to say morose, but
it's a little morose.
Yeah,
it's a little existential, overtly existential.
Yeah, and they both do the job equally well, I feel.
Yeah.